Before when
Mm.
does everybody know Airbnb? I'll
Right.
guess 99% will say yes, of course, of course. So what
Mm.
do you think I don't know about Airbnb? Before Airbnb, well, we never thought, like I never thought that my apartment can be
True.
monetized when I'm away on
True.
a vacation. When
Mm.
Airbnb came, they show us this opportunity. They highlighted this time in our life and opportunity to monetize
Mm.
something
Mm.
um, what you was not aware of. So with
Mm.
Chile, we do the same. We're
Mm.
highlighting the opportunity that you spend every day on TikTok. You're wasting your time in Instagram,
Mm.
Twitter, or whatever, Twitch, we'll call it, name it,
Mm.
social media network.
Right.
You just spending time and you're not getting anything back. But the
Mm.
time, it's so valuable. And I think it's beautiful.
Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Welcome to Open Tech Talks.tv. And today we have a guest speaker, Viktoriia Merkel. And she is the Chief Communication Officer for a startup called Chile, and it's a social media platform. But before we go to the social media platform, let's understand who is Viktoriia and what she was doing over the last few years. So welcome to the show, Viktoriia. If you can give us a brief about yourself.
Yes, hello, and thank you, Kashif, for welcoming me, and thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and listening or watching, whatever you're at or from wherever you are. I'm Viktoriia, and yes, I've been doing a lot of fun job in Web3 in the last 3 years, as well as I started a long time ago when I was 18 in Web2 brick and mortar businesses, owned restaurants, flower shop. That was a lot of different things. And
Okay.
then in 7 years ago, I started moving my career online and I owned a marketing agency.
Mhm.
So from that, I owned it for about over 2 or 3 years. And then once I decided to close it, I moved to Web3 and decided that I can contribute a little bit more to this ecosystem
Mhm.
compared to 2016 when I found it first. And
Right.
yeah, since then I've been helping startups to get ready them for fundraising, doing marketing, introducing them to investors, or doing any business development. And since July this year, currently I joined the Chile. It's CHEELEE.io, and it's a social media platform that is a short video content. There is the same like TikTok, but a little bit different, where everybody can earn money for watching feed.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, yes.
All right. So before we go to your current role, and you said you started working in Web3, and over the last 3 years, you started doing a marketing and all that, and communication from either your own startup or for someone else. So if someone is new to the technology and he didn't know anything about this Web3 and all that, so if you can give us build a context to it, that who told you that there is a Web3, and then how you landed up to that area.
So about Web3, there was no such a thing as a Web3 when I founded blockchain. I
Mm-hmm.
founded blockchain when I used to work for a huge company and just many different things. It was a big holding.
Mm-hmm.
I founded Bitcoin, and there was like
Oh,
Bitcoin ATMs on Wall Street, and I was
right.
communicating with a founder of the Bitcoin Center for in New York. And then I was like, "What do you guys is this Bitcoin thing?"
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
just got very curious, and on my own, I started to do a lot of research, Googling. But at 2016, I think it was like end 16, maybe started 17.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is, or in the middle of 16, I don't remember. But what happened is that when I was Googling and trying to figure out, I love the idea because I'm an immigrant, and I was always sending money to my mom with the Western Union from every country that I was.
Right.
And it was so expensive. If you remember Western Union, I think it still exists. If somebody using it, it's so expensive. So with the blockchain technology, what the promise was that we can send money to anyone, anywhere in the world without a middleman. And I was like, ooh, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is great. I love the idea. Like, I want to buy this Bitcoins. Like, I want to buy it and, use it and send it. And it was so hard. I couldn't, like, honestly, when I was Googling and looking YouTube articles, it was forums back then. I still couldn't understand it fully. What is this? Because it was so not comprehensive. There was not enough marketers to explain it very well. And what I decided, I just, bought a few different coins, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin, just like diversified my portfolio. It sounds funny in Web3. It's so risky though. And then I was like, that's it, after the grow really big in 2017 and fell back on 18, I was like, you know what, let me forget about it. Like, let me go back to my, Web2 life and normal, business. And I just forgot about it until when I was closing my marketing agency and I was burned out, absolutely burned out. Who does marketing will understand. 8 people in my team, operations every day. You the brain of it. There's nobody else can do marketing campaigns like you. You gotta be every day working. I was just burned out. I was like, I want to do something else. And Bitcoin was booming, and I started hearing, instead of seeing everything that was suggesting Google and YouTube, all my marketing stuff, I started seeing kind of the crypto coming up back. And I was like, okay, what is this metaverse, GameFi, DeFi? I was like, this is new slang, I don't know. So I started just learning about it. And then I got offer from investor to start a company for him in the GameFi, and I started doing a lot of research on that subject. And when I moved to Dubai, actually, I then decided not to pursue particularly this deal, but then I still started going to conferences and learn more and more and more, and it's just got it as a snowball, So since then I started working with it.
Okay. And your marketing agency, it was focusing on certain sector, or it was digital or social media marketing, or how was it?
Yes, that was a digital social media marketing. We did all back end work so my niche was women entrepreneurs, like solo, 3 to 5, 1 to 5 team. I was coaching them on starting the website, the emails, like marketing, messages, copy, just everything on the back end, as well as we could, do services as well with the social media management and creating content and supporting them along the way once they grow. So yeah.
Okay.
And I had a podcast with I think it's still like top 3 podcasts. Top 3% podcast with the 244 episodes. So I really love doing interviews, talking to different people and learning. I learned so much from doing podcasts and from amazing guests that I have. So I absolutely understand why you're doing this.
Okay. All right. That's great. That's great. And now you can connect it. So in our audience, so there are 2 types of audiences we have today who are listening our show. So maybe as you came from marketing background, and before we'll move to the social media and the later stage. So if one type of people who are listening are maybe they are starting some niche startups, or maybe some idea which they are trying to test it, validate it, and then develop it. And then the other one are full-time employees. So maybe a question to you is, if you want to share some secret recipe for the social media and the marketing as a marketing agency and expert, first type of people who are doing their business, what they should be doing it.
In the marketing agency?
Yeah, in the marketing, from a marketing point of view.
Start creating long form content, at least like 5-10 minutes. Even like 10-12 minutes, like a biting size, right? And break down that video into article, reels, posts, and also repurpose things every year. Like nobody is going to watch your post a year ago. So if you know that, 3 things that you need to do, or like 5 steps you need to do, whatever you're teaching,
Right.
just keep repurposing them and, keep recording content based on the subjects just nonstop. And it's just, that's the basically recipe. You don't want to recreate all the time. You don't want to think, and innovate stuff. Things are working well in the way they are, and business already working in the way they are. Right now, I actually thought to come back to marketing at some point, because the AI, it just makes it so much easier your life.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I didn't close it for 2 years. Like the last 3 years, my agency, it will still keep growing, and I will just use AI and it will be so much easier. But I gave up 3 years ago. Like, I can't do this anymore. And it's absolutely amazing, guys. So create a long form content. So just spend your time, 2-3 hours on research, hour on recording, make sure it's beautiful, it's good, it's comprehensive, it's a short, you're speaking in sound bites, and repurpose that content. You can create so much content out of that one video. It's going to be beautiful. And that's, definitely saves your time.
All right, great. So now if someone is working as a full-time, with the changes in the market dynamics and all, do they need to also do some marketing for their own brand on being working full-time? Is it required?
Sure. If you're planning, just think through your long-term goals. If you're planning something to start a company later, or to build a brand, or start a podcast, podcast, it's a company, or just you love doing this, or you thinking you will be doing this, start doing your branding, your personal branding much earlier. And I think reputation is everything. And in America, everything functions just on reputation. And reputation, it is your brand. So you want to maintain it, even though you don't want to post it a lot. Do it for friends, but sometimes some very important people can see it accidentally. And that's how I got my offer from investor. He was just watching my content, and I tagged their company because I was using it. And then he invited me for coffee and offered me a starting company and investment with him. After, we talked, he's like, wow, I want you, to start to do this company for me. So it's like, you don't know who's watching your content. You never know.
True. Very inspiring. Thank you so much for giving a tip to the full-time employees who are working on it. Now, let's fast forward your current role, where you are a chief communication officer, and this is a new social media platform. And even I haven't heard it earlier before we were interacting to host you and as a guest. So maybe give us some brief on it. First, on which technology it's built, who started it, what is the concept behind, what did you learn over the so many months you joined them?
Yes. So let me start from that. A few questions I have for you guys. So we all know, right? TikTok, Instagram, and like YouTube, right? They all pay the content creators. Like they do pay money to some users. Like, let's call them users because they're still users of the platform. But where are they getting their money from? It's advertisers.
Right.
So why advertisers give money to social media platform? Because they want eyeballs of people and attention of people on their ads. So if we think about it, then it means the product, it's really people. It's not the content creators, neither though they do play a huge role. But no one is rewarding users. I think it's unfair. So what Chile does, we do reward users and content creators, both. And we do revenue share from advertisement and also, other streams of revenue. So Chile is a short video content platform. It combines like a user experience of TikTok, very similar, but we are on a blockchain. And why we are on a blockchain? Because blockchain technology gives us a globalization opportunity. We don't have to get compliant with every country with little details with the local currencies and banks. And we can pay out in tokens. And then, we have some payments, of course, that you can, some countries it's already available from tokens. You can just straight send it to your card. But it's, it takes time. That's why we're having in a few countries, but we're going to roll it out, in the future. But for watching feed, you don't have to do anything else. Like on TikTok, you're watching a feed and you get nothing but a feeling of wasted time after you close the app. But with the Chili, you're scrolling through, you're having fun and earning money. Or you can choose to be content creator, build your audience, be famous. And it's much easier than becoming popular right now on all social media. It's so saturated. Like there is a need for new social media right now. I think that is adapted for new generation. Yes. So we do use, we are on only only mobile platform for now. We only have a Google App Store. You can go download it, check it out. You will start earning rewards right away. And then, you will have a choice, like to upgrade account, not to upgrade, to be content creator, to just like wait until, you app develops better or something. Yeah.
So how long you started working in this?
So Chile started building in like 2022. The Sun Technologies got from a previous app that was built in 2020, but it was not Web3. But we got some like smart feed and like some editing features and started building new application in 2022. And 2023, we launched live in March, but in April, we just started earning mechanics and released the own app store was in April as well. And I joined them. I worked with them since April, May, June as a contractor because I usually work as a contractor, and they invited me to join full time, and I joined it in July this year.
So how is it going?
It's going fine. The company is very interesting. The mission is beautiful, and I love supporting them. Yeah. It's really fun to see. It's very challenging, building social media. And that's why I took on this role. It's very complicated. You think it's not a 5-people SaaS startup. It's so much that goes into it. Moderation, security, the token side as well. The Web3 is huge. The wallet, the scams, the frauds, the building, the security, authentication, moderation, video editing. There's so much going into it. Bringing content, influencers, bringing money into that, investments. Like there's so much. It's very complicated. It's a two-side market. You need to bring advertisers as well. You need to get enough users. Yeah, and make sure the content is fine so you can get enough users to get advertisers. And it's very interesting.
So who's investing the money? Is it some investor or person? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we venture backed. Yeah.
Okay.
And founders as well invested a lot of money on their own as well.
Okay. So now, in communication in your control, so you're doing marketing, or marketing is doing someone else, and you are like a spokesperson?
Yeah, so I do a lot of speaking, representing company at the events, and making sure that communications, that goes out, it's correct, as well as a lot of business development. The titles in startups, it's just titles. You do everything and anything. Yeah, I do my best to bring investors, to business development companies, all the different infrastructure that we need, as well as doing communications, because that's what I love to do. I wish I can only do this all day long.
Okay. So you started full-time July and April. So over the last 6-7 months, what are your top 3 learnings which you got from this role?
Learnings from this role?
Yeah.
A good question.
Or maybe,
let me heard about it. Let me think through back in the years. I think the best learning is to this is my first like full-time job. I actually never worked full-time job. It's always my own companies or more of a like partner kind of assistant role when I was younger. So it wasn't like 9 to 5 or anything. What I've learned is that I love waking up early, but starting a day from working calls, it's not working. You don't do guys this when you're working in different time zones. Start your day from meditation, start your day from workout. Don't do like me. When at 5 a.m. I started work calls, And then, by the middle of the day, I take like a few hours off. But at the same time, I see the mental space, it's different. You don't want to do this. Even though you like it and you can do it, you don't want to do it. And I think the second one is that the market now, it's pretty complicated, right? It's hard. It's very in a down market. And working in the down market, actually, it's nicer because there is less noise, but at the same time, there's less excitement.
Right.
So, which is, gets a little bit harder to find companies that have resources to execute like implementations. So that's another learning. I think in the bull market, it's easier, but at the same time, it's more exhausting because of the noise. And in the bear market, like in the low market, it's more calm, but it's the other challenges that comes in. Yeah.
All right. So now,
third one, apply to, if you want communications or you do marketing or you're building your brand, apply for speaking engagement freaking 6-7 months up front. It's crazy. Like I got accepted to NFT New York. It's already now. They sent it to me like in October acceptance. I applied in September. Imagine how early they're getting ready. So I wasn't thinking it will take us long. I thought it was maybe like a couple months, but it's actually like almost, it can be up to a year, which is also good learning.
Okay, great. So that's a personal learning. Now you're doing a lot of stuff for the Chile. So if someone is starting not a social media, but any other startup, and they are also early to the market in any industry. So what are your tips to them that what they should be doing it?
Operations, guys. I was just telling to my friend, she's like a one-person company, but like with the contractors. And I told her, hey, you have to start when you're one person to write down your SOP sets. It's a standard operation procedure. It's like what you do step by step. Start writing down right now. So when you growing and it's time to hire people and expand, you just easily onboarding them. Like use software where you optimize everything. Don't try to use 10 different softwares. Doesn't matter if it's a popular software like Gmail, Slack, Telegram, all of it. Now I'm trying to move our company to like another software that I found that combines everything. And I see a lot of companies and don't understand it, that operations will save you days in a month if you just put a little more time up front. So that's first. Second is be flexible. I think a lot of founders will have this idea, and it's like they're just going on that idea, but I think it's good to be flexible because the market is changing. Listening to customers, listening to clients, listening to investors, all of those perspectives are very important. And it's the speed of you being flexible and changing with the market is crucial. If you lose sometimes few months and there's some other company pop out much earlier, you're out of business, And so it's like you got to move fast. It's like money loves speed. You got to make fast decisions, make a lot of mistakes, but still going fast and recovering from them.
Right. I think great. The second point which you said, flexible. It could be like even if you're developing or building a product, it's like validation. Go back to customer or go back to your investor. Keep asking them what they want. Don't be rigid that this is my product, my features, and I'm gonna develop it.
Because it's not your product. It's product for people, and you're building for them. Yeah, and that's where the founders get hung up because I work with a lot of PC startups. That's where they get hung up. It's like this idea of I'm building, this is my baby. No, that's not. No, you're not gonna use it. They're gonna use it. It's their babies. You got to build it for them. It's like you in kindergarten. You got to be the in school like a teacher, right? For the kids, it's
true. And this leads to another one question that as you go to customer, but for a new one, it's challenge for him how to go to customer. Right. So So what are your thoughts on it? I mean, for someone who is new to the market, what should be he doing it to reach to the customers?
Well, first, do like a soft beta launch. Use websites. Like there is a product on, there's a bunch of them. Just Google it. Use websites that contain the audience of people that eager to learn about new companies and eager to give you feedback. There's so many of those. So do your launch there, run your idea through the forums, like ask, there's amazing founders there. There's amazing tech people there too. They'll give you free advice, free ideas, free feedback. You don't have to only ask your friends like before, before they will tell you, go to your warm contacts friends. No, go to the website that contains those people. So do the soft launch first, get the feedback, adjust it, do a beta launch for actual customers, see how it performs. And then you might start pouring money into marketing. Once everything is working, you get great feedback, things are working on the back end, or things are working in operations in your company. That's when you actually launch. So don't go just straight to, saying, I'm ready, let's do it. And then you fail and there's a bad review and you're like, the emotional state, you're like, oh, it's not really exciting. But when you're getting through the steps slowly and you strategizing it right and not spending like spraying and praying money on marketing when things are not working, like on your copy on your website, you start doing ads, but the website, it's absolutely broken. It's so many websites like this. I sometimes go on a website that doesn't work. I just leave them. So you don't want to do this. You want to do it gradually. So give yourself grace and time. Don't think in the first months, you have to get millions of dollars in customers. Give yourself at least, timelines, and give yourself also a numbers of mistakes you will do. You know how much pressure it takes off? Because we will all do mistakes. But I learned that from my mentor, Shanda Sumter. She's an amazing business coach. And she sets, amount of mistakes that she can make in a year. So that takes the pressure off, because when the mistake happens, she's like, okay, got it. I'm still on track, and you keep going. Good. It's it's mentally more easy on you. And I think that's a beautiful tactic, the tool that she uses that I also use. It's beautiful.
Very good. Very good.
Well, humans,
excellent.
We'll have emotions and feelings. Of course.
True. Now, as you must be working with the technical folks who are developing internally your product, right? So they could be the blockchain developer or an architect or a product manager, whatever. So what are your thoughts or some suggestions to them, as if someone is listening on our audience, that they should be listening to what? How they should be, some tips for them to bridge the gap, or maybe they just focus on developing code?
For me, it's the hardest one in our department. It's to communicate with the AI department. They're so logical, and I'm like, this company could be good for us. I'm like about vision and growing company globally, and they're like, not our current priority. I'm like, get on the call for 30 minutes. You don't even know. Like, I can't talk with them at the same level and AI, what the technology they have. And, they're like, no, I don't have time for that. I'm like, oh my God, don't be so, be more, I will say, do your best in, in opening up to like visions and ideas and crazy stuff. But also there's a bunch of websites. If you guys want to start a company and you don't have, people that are you really good with in marketing, there's a website that finds you co-founders. There's thousands, 10,000s of users and people on the websites that's successful, already built companies, and they're looking for founders. Just, everybody say find founder like in your network, you will meet him in any conference. No, I don't think so. I think sometimes it's even worse, because then you have, you're developing slowly your like a friendship, but at the same time, you both business skilled. When you have a good business skills, you can build anything together. Just to be, good negotiator in terms of when you disagree, but also right. There's another investor one time in one company asked me to show them agreement between founders I think it's a beautiful practice. So you sit down before you start something and you write between yourself. And sometimes they don't even ask to show it, but they just want to know if you do have one. What's going to happen if you're going to quit? What's going to happen if you're going to not work? What's going to happen if we make money and then I leave and it's not enough years? Like, are you going to get all the stocks? What's going to happen if you die? I don't know. What's going to happen if anything, right? So write down these things, and that will take off the fear of starting company with somebody you don't know, because you will start to see in this negotiation what person have in mind. I think it will show all the personality, and you will see, are you ready to go with this person into the whole long journey of building business or working together.
True. I agree. Thank you so much, Viktoriia. I think I'm just feeling that we should keep talking, and you're giving so much insight and tips. And I really appreciate for joining. But maybe as a concluding remarks, if you want to share something for audience, primarily on this social media platform, Chile or anything.
I want to share that. So, before, when everybody, does everybody know Airbnb? I'll guess 99% will say, yes, of course. So what, do you think I don't know about Airbnb? Before Airbnb, we never thought, I never thought that my apartment can be monetized when I'm away on a vacation. When Airbnb came, they show us this opportunity. They highlighted this time in our life, an opportunity to monetize something what you was not aware of. So with Chile, we do the same. We're highlighting the opportunity that you spend every day on TikTok. You're wasting your time in Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, Twitch, call it, name it, social media network. You just spending time and you're not getting anything back. But the time, it's so valuable. And I think it's beautiful. I love to give this also example that if you want your kids, your brother, sister, nieces, start to understand experientially through life how valuable is time, give them Chile instead of TikTok, because they will start earning money. And then once they go to TikTok and they're like, oh, I get nothing out of it. They're like, oh my God, my time is so valuable, right? I'm not saying everybody has to use Chile, but I think it's a good tool to teach anyone to highlight that moment in the life, that the time is valuable. Even 10 minutes, you can make a couple bucks, It's beautiful.
A very good analogy you have presented to the way from Airbnb point of view. Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so
you.
much. Yeah. Same here. Thank you so much for joining the open.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.